Alright guys, Supreme Kami over here. So let's talk about the 36 hours only EX Ultra exclusive capsule banner over here. So is this going to be a banner that you want to summon on, for example? Let's say you guys are stacking up a good amount of harvests, for example. Is this something that you want to spend on? So I think first and foremost, it's definitely going to be, you have to ask yourself the question, do you need anything, right? Let's say you're sitting on a pretty good build. I think you guys is just pretty much trying to upgrade your parts and your hanger whatsoever. If you guys don't need anything, for example, I would definitely say this banner is going to be like a hot skip, for example. I know that in terms of the value, you are going to be getting 10. You are getting 10 6-star parts over here, and then in terms of the bonus trait, they are going to be the power type, so they are going to be sitting at, you know, everything, melee, shooting, EX skill, they're both sitting at 8%. So in terms of looking at that aspect, it looks pretty good, but at the end of the day, it's more of like, do you guys need anything? So if you guys don't need anything, you know, that's gonna be pretty much it. You guys can continue to save up your hard chips until, let's say, the anniversary, and then potentially see what's going on. But in terms of the other aspect, another factor to talk about, it's just that in terms of the value, is actually pretty good. You know, 10 6-star parts over here, and then in terms of what the roster we're looking at, we are looking at some pretty recent stuff. Like we are sitting at Kasich Gundam already, and that's like a pretty powerhouse for like a shooter build, so that's obviously pretty good. Some other honorable mention is the fact that in terms of freebie, per every multi that you're summoning, you are also going to be getting like a you know, exclusive part exchange ticket, for example. So let's say if they're like a specific part that you've been hunting for example, now it's gonna be a time to just kind of, you know, get that out of the way, because you can just kind of buy that at the moment. So there's just, you know, a lot of, you know, factors that's going on. And then most importantly, I think people might ask like, even if I don't have a summon on it, like I can't really alterate, then this is gonna be another factor, because they have actually updated the list in terms of the roster. So if you guys are not around the time when they updated, for example, so it is still going to be the same area. It's going to be the batch exchange ticket over here. So so in terms of the overall roster, you guys gotta really dive deep, like, you know, to see what's going on, because in terms of the actual order, they did a very janky job where they're not in alphabetical order in terms of, let's say, the release date. So everything is actually in here. And then if we do take a look, the most recent one that you can actually exchange for is actually going to be the S attribute, the last, not this one, excuse me, not even, I'm not even there yet. It should be like, you really gotta like kind of click onto it to see what is going on. But this one, right here, so in terms of this one over here, we are looking at the S attribute full armor unicorn. So this is going to be the last unit that is able to kind of alterate for. And just look at the overall list. They have expanded so much for, like, you're pretty much up to date. So if you pull any of the recent 7-star parts, for example, you guys are in pretty good business. Kind of keep that in mind. They did do, like, I want to say to this point, they have done a few campaign where you are going to be able to get some of these kind of exchange tickets over here, for your badges over here. So that's actually pretty hot. So if you guys do choose to summon, for example, kind of keep that in mind. You are at least going to be able to alter it if you guys were around that time where they actually did, let's say, the campaign whatsoever. So in terms of part, let's say, all right, so after you do some summoning, for example, what kind of part do you actually want to exchange for example? So let's actually kind of go over to the list over here. So I'm only going to be recommending, let's say, the meta part, because I'm not going to recommend any of the aesthetic part, for example, because in terms of aesthetic, that is on you. You are like the sole responsible kind of like player that is deciding, all right, what part looks good in my build whatsoever. What I'm recommending is only going to be the meta part. Those parts are going to secure you into like doing good damage, whatsoever, right? So I'm only going to be recommending those. So if you guys are not here for that, I don't know, man. So in terms of the meta part, let's say for the Kasich, are there anything? Let me kind of go through. Like, I don't really have anything on top of my list right now, but just kind of look at something that's kind of good. This one is not good, honestly, because this one is only sitting at 20%. Initial EX skill charge is actually a good portrait to kind of run, but kind of keep that in mind as the game did progress. For example, power creep, new meta, right now you should be sitting at 25%, so that is like a very sweet spot you guys are targeting. So this one I would definitely say no. But I do remember there's actually a pretty good portrait that is like, you know, decent enough. Was there any or no? I guess there wasn't. I think from what I remember from Kasich, the only, oh, I think it's probably the backpack. Why maybe look at this one? Let's actually go over to the alternative version because that will allow me to see what is the the alteration. So I believe the backpack is definitely not a bad chasing part. This one does have a double shooting power boosting. Keep that in mind in terms of the EXQ, or let's say anything that is dealing with cut minus a X amount percentage over here. These are like a new kind of like a portrait, for example. So if you guys are seeing these are actually quite good. So this one is actually not bad. Kind of keep that in mind. This one does have an alternative attribute, so you are going to be able to access some of the other parts or war tag as well. So this one is honestly a very good one to be looking at. So if you guys need a good shooting base backpack, this one's gotta be it. If you guys are going, let's say, to unicorn, for example, and you know what, I should actually skip Kasai because that one is actually not featured in terms of the L badges, but that is definitely something that is consider about. But in terms of full armor unicorn, the chasing part is definitely going to be the torso, because the torso is able to give you, or yeah, torso, yeah. This one is going to be a very good all power. So this one, honestly, you can throw this on any build, your melee build, your shooting build, no problem, because this one is all power. So every EXQ, any melee attacks, shooting attacks, shot based EXQ, melee based EXQ, everything's going to be able to benefit from this one. So if you guys if you guys are able to summon for the backpack or the torso, for example, and then onto this one is honestly pretty good. So that is going to be pretty much it in terms of, let's say, the full armor unicorn. I don't think there's any additional that is good in terms of top of my head right now. So let's kind of take a look at, let's say, this one. This one is going to be the Gundam 0 LSO version. Backpack is honestly, another one of those, situation where we are talking about a very balanced out. This one is going to be another one of the situations where everything is pretty much going to be able to get that benefit. This one is specifically for EXQ boosting, which is actually going to be pretty good if you're talking about your shooting based EXQ, your melee based EXQ. Everything's going to get that benefit. So I'm pretty sure at this point in time you guys get the overall picture of like what kind of good portrait that you guys should be focusing on. So if you guys do happen to pull some part, do kind of take some time to kind of long press your part and just kind of see what they are doing. If you guys are spotting any of the new servers apart, they're definitely going to be pretty good. So some other ones to mention is, like, I believe Strike Freedom is actually a good one to kind of cover real quick. So these are the one that I'm talking about, like, the quote unquote the new meta, because these are like the up to 25%. So these are definitely something that you want to be looking out for. And honestly, all these parts I'm talking about, they are at max of stats. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys, when starting out, they should be at 25% for the 40%, like max out 40%, but starting at 25%. And then in terms of some of your initial charge, for example, they are starting out at 15%. So kind of keep that in mind. And then some other caveats, some other additional ones that are good that you guys may want to pay attention to is it should be in here, right? Let's talk about maybe the Gundam Haru. So some other one that I truly enjoy, like, running these portrait, are going to be these buff EXQ effects. So whenever you guys see these have a specific portrait, for example, just kind of keep that in mind. They are going to allow you to do massive damage overall. Keep that in mind in conjunction if you're using EXQ, that gives you buffs effects whatsoever. So they are going to, like, instantly allow you to do damage. So these are some of the portraits that I do want to kind of quickly cover. So these are specifically the language that you want to be focusing on. So all the other stuff are pretty much going to be copy and paste. So you guys just have to go to the list, like, not go to the list, but it depends on what you pull, for example. But if you guys do choose to pull, for example, I think you guys are in good business to at least get some good part. But honestly, on the upside, you can get shafted. So I am actually going to be doing a demonstration and see how many 7-star part we can actually get. In terms of me personally, I don't really have the highest hope, for example, just because the banner is actually pretty diluted. We are talking about parts that is from, like, literally on the release of this game. So we are talking about back in 2019 to this day. So in terms of actually getting, like, let's say 10 out of 10 part or 7-star part, all tradable or tune up or able to tune up, I wouldn't have that high hopes, for example. So this little bit is over here, I'm just like, oh, we got some pretty bad parts. So we are getting the beam back. So I think this one is one of these Sasabi, so I'm just like, oh, wow, we're just off to a very bad start already. So this one is going to be another old part. So this one does not have the ability to go up to your 7-star state restart yet. So in my books, I will consider this one to be a shot because like I can't really use it. Besides, let's say, does the EX skill? Is this one the big skill? I think. Oh wait. Oh, this one is the big skill, but I can't use it because this one is. I can use it, but it's not the actual rolling buster. So, oh wow, we getting Kamars with our. Oh wow, another honestly battle roll going on. So yeah, so I would definitely say the risk is definitely pretty high because you're just not gonna be guaranteed to get some actual good stuff. Oh wow, we're getting 2019 full arm unicorn. Oh no, 2020. Yeah, that's hot. Do you guys think that's good? Oh yeah, we also getting another 2020 edition mega cannon that is from Utologies 3. So yeah, so the risk is definitely there. I'm gonna say the risk is there, but if you guys are like a new player, for example, that needs part, this one is to go. But honestly, if you guys are like if you guys are like a veteran player, these are definitely not going to be conducive to you guys. So I do hope that that is definitely something to be considering about. So, and are we done? Wow, another what? Yeah, these are actually terrible. Oh wow, reborns. Oh yeah, that's a oh yeah. So in terms of what we got here, none of these parts I can actually use because I have them already. So if you guys are like me, for example, I would definitely say do not just don't go for them because in terms of actually getting something is it's just not gonna be bad. But if you guys are planning to do some summoning at least one time, I would definitely say you are in good hands to get something good. At least to take it, right? At least to take it would be good. But do let me know how many of you guys are actually going to be summoned on this banner. Just from this demonstration alone, I would definitely say in terms of the rate of getting 7-star part, for example, definitely a very low balling it. But that's just gonna be in terms of my luck. But with that being said, that is gonna be pretty much it in terms of whether or not you want to summon on this 36 hours only banner or not. So with that being said, I will catch you guys all on the next one.